I'm Yuri.
I'm Jakub.
We're going for a drive. 2019 Porsche Cayenne
Turbo, the fast one.
Launch control.
It's not called launch control in this.
Performance start.
Send it. Oh! It's ridiculously fast.
Better than a Trackhawk on launches.
It is pretty much as fast as a Trackhawk. Like 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is pretty much the same at about 3.9 seconds.
Horsepower and torque.
541 horsepower and 568 pound-feet of torque from a 4-liter twin-turbo V8.
So off that launch, would you prefer launching a Trackhawk or would you prefer launching in this?
Trackhawk, it was just more violent.
Yeah, it was just more like redneck.
This is like pleasant fast. Like,
you don't even notice how fast you're going until you're too fast.
yes, exactly. This is like silly fast at any gear, any RPM, any speed.
How about any corner?
Yes, especially cliche corner. Check out our merch store, Teespring.
And coming in a little too fast, but it doesn't matter because this thing is wild.
There is no too fast for this car.
They're pretty much, yeah, a car. Because it is a car, not an SUV.
I'm gonna keep calling this a car. It does not feel like an SUV at all.
So in honor of the Cayenne Coupe being announced like this last week, let's start with the looks.
Okay, so yes, the Cayenne Coupe just got announced, and I don't like how that looks. I like how this looks more.
I do like the Cayenne Coupe.
But let's talk about this one.
So compared to the base Cayenne that we drove earlier this year, this has a lot more body kit and stuff on it.
Yeah, it looks a lot better, like noticeably better.
And let's start with the paint color. We actually got a purple Porsche.
Yeah, not my favorite.
When it pops so well. And the thing is, it's one of those colors where like, if you got purple and you needed to go to a business meeting, no one would be like, whoa, is that a purple Challenger? They'd be like, oh, there's a slight tinge of purple on there.
Very true. It's actually called purpurate metallic, so it's not even called purple.
And the body lines are so good, like from the side, when it pops, look at that.
Yeah, the body lines are pretty nice on this.
And we have no plastic cladding around the wheels because it's the turbo.
Yeah, plastic cladding does not belong in upper trims. I would like to talk about the exhaust, specifically the look. I'll get to the sound later because I do really like it.
It's like tips upon tips upon tips.
Yeah, so this does have the sport exhaust and it has the optional black tips. It looks really good.
Do you like the back end more than the front end look?
Yes.
And the back just looks so heavy duty. And we've got that cool spoiler on top, which can deploy.
I find that spoiler hilarious.
It's good though, and you can control it from the infotainment too.
Yeah, and we can also control our exhaust system through the infotainment.
And we've got different taillights for the Cayenne Turbo as well.
Yeah, these are the optional ones. I don't really like them that much.
But they look cool at night.
They do.
And then onto the front end, pretty standard Cayenne, just a little bit more like body kitty.
Yeah, exactly. It looks really good overall.
And shout out to Porsche for always getting customized license plates for all their models.
Yeah, 5 Cayenne. I think my favorite overall part of this particular Cayenne are the wheels.
Yeah, they look very Porsche wheel and they suit it very well, but they're not the same wheels that either of us picked when we did our custom Cayenne in the last video.
That's true, but they do fit the car really well.
And you know what else fits the car just by a hair?
What's that?
The brakes and the brake calipers.
Yeah, so the brake calipers are absolutely massive. They are 10 piston in the front. And Porsche's like, you know what? We got this new coating. We're gonna make the calipers white so that we can show you exactly how little brake dust there is. So apparently these brake calipers pretty much will never get brake dust on them because of this special new coating. It's unreal.
I think it looks very cool.
And Yuri and I have both been having the same issue with this car. When we hit the brakes every single time, faces into the dash. Like we cannot get used to them.
And they're not even carbon ceramics.
They're insane. These are the craziest brakes on anything that I've ever used. Like even crazier than a GT2 RS, GT3 RS. Like this is nuts.
It's A+.
Yeah.
All right, and back to those wheels. What's the Continental recommended tire for this?
The Sport Contact 6.
So let me dabble with the infotainment before I let you drive and talk about all the driving and stuff.
Go for it.
It's the new style one. It's pretty easy to use. It's got Apple CarPlay. It does not have Android Auto because Porsche still hasn't figured that part out yet. What sucks about the Apple CarPlay though is it doesn't stretch all the way across. It's just the normal like 16:9 setting in the middle, and then it's got stuff that pops up on the side. And the buttons are so small that if you were like a professional athlete with big hands, you wouldn't be able to touch any of those little icons on the left.
So if you're an amateur athlete, you'll be completely fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The rest of the infotainment is pretty much exactly the same as the Cayenne we did, but I do want to reiterate one thing.
Yeah, so watch that review, by the way.
You can rewind satellite radio stations on here, which is nice, lots of channels, but what you can't do is go through your favorites with a button. Like a hard button, you can't go through them. This custom button on the steering wheel, they don't let you do that. You can only go up track. So say your favorites are 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you want to go back 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, it doesn't let you. It'll go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, up till 300 until you can loop back around.
Okay.
that needs to be changed. Like, just think about what's the most used button on everyone's steering wheel.
I use the volume button.
Favorites.
Oh yeah.
To scroll through channels like FM. This can't even scroll through FM stations like that. It'll just go 0.1, 0.3, 0.5.
Add that next time, Porsche.
Yeah, I think a German engineer needs to take a look at that because they don't have satellite radio in Germany, and I think that might be the issue.
Probably. But the rest of this infotainment is very good. You can change your custom settings. You can change your car settings. You make this thing look like it's going off-roading. It's got air suspension, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, pretty much the same as the base Cayenne.
Except now we have air suspension, exhaust modes, and all that stuff.
And then if we go to our gauge real quickly before you drive, same analog in the middle, digital on the sides, but on the left, I noticed that you can set your speed limiting.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
And what it does is on the head-up display, it shows a gigantic ring that says like, stop going past 100. And it really stops you from speeding, especially in a fast car. It helps.
Yuri placed it at 99 kilometers for me, so when I was going exactly 100 kilometers per hour, as I always do as a good boy on the highway, it flashed.
Yeah, and it like really stops you. Can I quickly talk about the head-up display before you drive?
Sure.
It can be customized so you just get the speed at the bottom, or you can customize all kinds of stuff. You can have a tack on the top on the head-up display that matches the tack down here, and they are exactly in sync. No lag, no nothing.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It takes up a lot of space on the head-up display. I would personally turn it off, but it's cool that it's there.
Yeah, it's very cool. So now it's your turn to drive.
Time to send.
And use the head-up display.
No.
And the speed limiter.
No.
I already launched it. It's not necessary for you to launch it as well.
It's so fast. It's so fun to do that. Okay, so let's talk about the drive modes. We have O, which is normal. Again, we've already made fun of that in previous reviews. Then we have Sport, and we have Sport Plus, and then Individual. Sport Plus is the best. So fast. Then we also have the Sport Response button. So if we press it in the middle, you get maximum power for like 20 seconds. I honestly never find a difference with Sport Response other than being in the correct gear.
So you click Sport Response if you're in the normal mode, and that way it'll open up everything in the exhaust for that 20 seconds.
Yeah, so instead of having to switch to Sport Plus, then press Sport Response is a little bit faster way to do it.
Yeah, I think the button is just Sport Plus.
No, it's not, because it already goes a gear down right away. Like, watch this. See?
So use that when you're in normal mode. But what I noticed about the sport modes, remember in the base Cayenne, the sport mode button was right here?
Yes, it was.
So now that's blanked out on the switches because your sport mode is on the steering wheel.
Yeah, so I do like it on the steering wheel. I don't like these touch buttons, all this gloss black. It still hasn't grown on me, and I don't think it will.
We need to get the hybrid one so we can try to get every button lit up.
Yeah, because every button still does not light up on the turbo, and this is very expensive, almost fully loaded.
This is bothering me less and less, but I still don't fully like it. Like, I don't like the volume where it is. There's no tuning buttons for your favorites or seeking left and right. Like, I think they should go like analog a little more.
I agree. They should go back. Like, they've gone full digital, dial it back just a little bit more.
One more company where the sweet spot was the generation before.
Previous gen, yep. So let's talk about this power a little bit more. Non-stop, any RPM, pretty much as fast as a Trackhawk. Like, it feels like it's as fast as a Trackhawk. Maybe in the upper range where the 700 horsepower would come in, this is pretty much as fast 99% of the time.
Yeah, it's like just ridiculously fast.
And if you have a Trackhawk, there's pretty much nowhere else you can go higher than this, because this is equivalent, but it's just nicer.
Maybe Model X up to 100.
Maybe. And another thing this does better than the Trackhawk, it actually tows more, 7,700 pounds. So I know some Porsche guys that buy this to tow their Porsche race cars.
You know Porsche guys?
I do.
I don't. Actually, no, my neighbor's got a Porsche.
But you don't know him.
No, but I've talked to him twice.
So let's talk about some more handling, because this is a Porsche after all, and it feels like a car. So this does have the optional rear steering, and it is unreal. This car, I'm gonna keep calling it a car, feels like a car, because the handling it doesn't even make sense how well this handles. Like, you can send this into corners, it'll oversteer and still be so composed. It has torque vectoring. This is insane. I don't understand how they can make an SUV handle this well. I just don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense.
That's what I say, man. It's a car undercover.
It is. And especially with air suspension, like, to be able to handle this well with air suspension, that's just some next level stuff. So handling, absolutely unreal. Let's talk about this transmission, because I have an issue with it. 8-speed auto, not a PDK, not lightning quick.
No, but it's pretty loud, like when you shift really high up.
It is, and the exhaust sounds really good, but I'll get to that in a second. So lightning quick would not be a way to describe this. The paddles are nice, smooth. Even when you don't use them, the transmission's great. It's just not what I expect from a Porsche Cayenne Turbo.
Yeah, it's not snappy.
Yeah, like, it's nice, it's good.
It's normal snappy, it's not Porsche snappy.
Exactly. I would only complain about this in this because it costs this much. If this was in anything else, I wouldn't have an issue with it.
So let's talk about the exhaust now.
Let's talk about it, because it sounds amazing. Like, just straight up amazing.
Yeah, it's so loud. Hearing it from other cars is great. Being in it and driving it is so good. Everything about the exhaust sound is fantastic.
The exhaust sounds unreal, crackles and pops, deep V8 growl, little bit of turbo noises. It sounds awesome.
So we only get backfires in Sport and Sport Plus.
Yeah, so if you put it in normal mode, there's nothing, so you can hear the difference right here.
But unlike the Carrera T, which only had burbles in Sport, this does a Sport Plus as well.
Yeah. Let's move into the interior because I absolutely love it.
You know what I noticed first?
What's that?
The grayness of it.
Yeah, it's an interesting color.
It's such a cool gray, but I think it's a cool gray because that neighbor's Porsche who I mentioned, every time I walked by, I parked on the street, which he street parks all year, which I think is crazy. It's gray like this.
I think this was a really rare color, like a desired color in the 997, 996 generation, so I think it's cool. I love the steering wheel, as always in every single Porsche. The paddles feel great. Everything in here feels great overall. I really like the top of the steering wheel, how it has this like dark anthracite, whatever it's called, wood. It looks really cool. Almost gloss black, but as soon as the light hits it, you can tell.
Yeah, we also have that on the side of the doors as well. But to be honest, I could do without that on the steering wheel. I don't like that.
I honestly think it feels very luxury. Like you can get this in carbon fiber. That would be cool.
See, I just want normal steering wheel, but it does feel luxury, but I don't want luxury out of this.
I have that in my 2001 Lexus GS430 as well in wood grain.
Wow, so lucky.
Grip and grain, bro.
How about the seats?
Seats are super comfortable. Again, these are the optional sport seats. They're unreal.
I like the logo on the headrest. I think that's very nice.
I believe that's also an option.
And then the back seats, I have tons of room. How about you?
I've got pretty good room.
And then what else do we have in the back seat?
Peasant blockers, power peasant blockers. Boom, no more peasants.
You can control them from the front by clicking up on the window buttons.
Awesome.
And then we got a big sunroof.
Yeah, let's talk about that sunroof. I don't know if you guys have heard this the entire review, but there's definitely a squeal, a howl, a whistle from the wind from that sunroof.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. I'm actually kind of surprised that there's a wind noise kind of thing in this car.
I feel like it's probably this particular car for some reason. Yeah. I don't know why,
I'm sure they engineered out as much wind noise as they could have.
Yeah, exactly. But you can definitely hear like a whistle at higher speeds. And not even that high speeds, like 80 kilometers an hour. And one thing that you didn't talk about in the gauges that I believed you saved for me, night vision.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's meant to spot deer while you're driving at night down unlit roads.
I've been using it to spot everything. It's the coolest.
What if somebody's driving on the highway with no taillights on?
You can spot them.
Spotted.
Awesome. And the way they blend it into the cluster with this like inner shadow, it looks awesome.
Yeah, because it's like a square monitor behind and it'll look weird or something. I don't know, it's nice.
It's really cool. I don't know how effective it is, but it's just really cool to see.
And since we're talking about kind of gimmicky things, how about the lane keep in this?
Okay, lane keep is not that good. It is an option. I would just not option it.
Because it's like a lane departure.
It's a little bit better than lane departure assist, but not quite as good as real lane keep assist.
And I guess to defend everything Porsche, you're supposed to be driving this one, not letting it drive you because it's a driver's car.
Yeah.
So there's your reasoning.
It does have adaptive cruise and it works well though. So this has about $40,000 in options and the lane keep assist is probably the only one I would uncheck.
But if you wanted to turn off your driving settings, it's actually pretty easy while driving. You can just click to assist and you can turn everything off. But you know what you can't do while driving?
What's that?
Pretty much adjust anything else. Your head-up display?
Yeah, that's a little frustrating.
All grayed out while driving.
Yeah.
So like, that sucks. There's no hard button to turn that stuff off.
I agree. It's for safety, but it is frustrating. So with all that out of the way, let's get to the price.
What's the price?
Starts at $139,700.
Canadian.
With $40,000 added to it, $179,370.
Why not?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, but it's like the fastest Porsche SUV.
It is, and I think it's worth every penny. Like, it's a lot of money, but the people that want this, and they deserve it because this is so good.
Next question, would you get this right now, or would you hold out for the Cayenne Coupe?
Oh, this, absolutely.
I love the coupe looks. I don't know if the Porsche Cayenne Coupe is better looking than the Mercedes or the BMW Coupe.
What about this versus the X5?
Can I get the X6M?
No, just this one.
I would go X5 over base Cayenne.
Really?
I like all these little gadgets and features that BMW has. I like the scroll wheel. I don't like all the stuff that's missing, this infotainment stuff. This doesn't have automatic parking. It doesn't have as good lane keep, doesn't have traffic jam assist. For me, I would enjoy the X530i more than I would enjoy a base Cayenne.
I would 1,000,000% take this, no question. Wouldn't even want to look at that X5, even though I think the X5 looks better.
Yeah, I'm probably go X5M over this.
I'm going this, no questions.
So let us know what you would take, the Cayenne or any of the competitors, maybe a Trackhawk, maybe BMW, or the Coupe.
let us know. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Patreon.com/TheStraightPipes. Join our YouTube membership and Teespring for cool shirts.
Cliche Corner. We also have a visor test shirt. Visor test.
3, 2, 1.
Ah, come on.
Okay,
Porsche.
second visor, gimmick pass.
Oh yeah, gimmick pass. I forgot about that. Box test?
Box test, 11. And small cup of coffee. There's 2 different size cup holders. If it's better in the driver's side cup holder.
Pass. See you later.
Whew, forgot that. Don't forget to do the visor test. I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. This is a subscription break. Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe right now. Subscribe. We didn't do that.